BG Knockout is in the backyard. What's up?
What's up with it? What's the
What's
deal?
up? Oh my
How
goodness,
y'all doing? How
BG.
y'all doing? How y'all doing down in LA?
Hey man, they done locked us back down again. Folks don't want to wear their masks. They don't want to, and plus with all the protesting, I think whenever you dealing with that, you get kind of lost with the emotion.
Yeah,
So I'm just hoping that a lot of us can pull through versus not, because we showed up this time. So it would
right.
be a shame for us to show up and then we get sick.
Yeah,
So
definitely, definitely.
we need serious prayers for everybody because it's real out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, indeed.
So BG, everybody was so upset, man, when we couldn't get together on June 7th. But I said, you know what, BG, he's coming to the backyard.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
I got sick, so I couldn't really, I don't want to be on here looking all crazy. You know what I mean? So it was just an unfortunate time for me. That's all. But yeah, I
That's
wanted to be
cool.
there.
Yeah. And that's why I told him, I said, we got BG on the he's coming to finish Ruthless June. So I told
Yeah,
him you
yeah,
were coming through. So here you are. So let's get started with these questions, man.
yeah.
First of all, BG, what you been up to, man?
Just living, man. Really just living and, entrepreneurial pursuits and things like that. Me and a few friends of mine, we have like clothing and accessory stores down here. So we just been trying to build and do stuff like that and just raising the kids, really just
Yeah.
normal shit. Yeah, normal life for the most part. Yeah.
Give me a definition of normal life. I just like to know because
It
I don't know
depends on
what
who
out
you
there.
ask. It depends on who you ask, but I mean, just your day, just what you do day to day. You know what I'm saying? Within your household, within your community, just normal. What's normal to you? What's normal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. But man, the problem is I don't have a definition for normal right now.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
only issue.
now it's not normal as far as what we're used to. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way the world is and lockdown, coronavirus, the government with all they shenanigans. It's definitely not the norm for us, but we getting through it. We gonna survive it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
always survive. And that being said, how did Real Brothers? I know you and Dresta released Real Brothers back in 1995, but
Right.
dude, so many of those songs are prominent for what we're going through right now. Like I would love to have 50-50 love with somebody. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? So talk to
Absolutely.
us about how that record came together.
Well, that record came together. Well, I was in county jail. Um, I think like on some tickets or something like that. And that's when my management got in touch with Greedy Greg and Ty Lewis from Outburst Records. And when I got out, we talked, we had a meeting, and then I ended up signing with them and getting out of my old contract, which was under Ruthless Records slash Toenail Records, a subsidiary of Ruthless.
Okay.
And before we came over there, my brother Dresta was working on a solo album, a solo project. So most
Okay.
of those songs were already recorded songs that Dresta was already working on prior to us coming. I think to Outburst and things like that. And once we came over there, we did a few more songs. Um, Greg and them had some producers, they brought in, and we just added a couple of more songs, and we kind of just put that album together. You know what I mean? We put it
Definitely.
together, and we was trying to have it together because of the hype at the time, like the hype around my name. The Dog Pound had just dissed me on a major record called "What Would You Do?" So we was trying to catch that wave, and so we kind of just put it together, and it came out pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, I do. I still listen to that record, BG. There's a lot of heaters on there. And like I
Yeah,
said, the crazy thing about it is a lot of people really don't realize that you and Dracer are real brothers, which that was
absolutely.
the title of the album.
Hmm.
So let me ask you this. Was that beef real at the time when you and Dracer had recorded Dog Pound Killers?
Yeah, it was definitely real. But I think me and my brother, we didn't take it no realer than it being music. You understand what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Yeah.
for us, it was more of a hip hop thing. Like, we really street dudes, and if it was like a street thing, that's what it would have been. You know what I mean? People would have
Right.
been shot and hurt and in jail and all that kind of stuff. So we didn't really take it like that, even though certain things did transpire. As people know, on the golf course when we went to Montel Jordan's video shoot and things like that. But yeah, I mean, it got real at some point, but it was really hip hop. We wasn't trying to take it no further than that.
Right, right. Thank goodness for that. And it's so funny because when Dresta was here with me, he
Uh,
talked about that he had cut off his jerry curl or something in anticipation that Death Row was going to try to come after him too, as like three guys with jerry curls or something like that. So,
yeah, my brother, he's a different breed, man. I don't know. He was fresh out of youth authority too, so he was kind of behind when it came to how the streets was operating at that point. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Well, that leads to the other question. Is it true that the last day the Eazy-E was in the studio, he was recording with you and Dresta?
Yeah, we were doing the song in response to the Dog Pound song, What Would You Do? We was responding with a record called Dog Pound Killer. And Easy had 8 bars to record on that song. And while we were there, and it actually was our deadline to turn the album in, like the next day, we had to turn the record in to get mixed and mastered and stuff like that,
Okay.
because Outburst and Def Jam, it was our time constraint we had to fulfill. And yeah, we were in the studio. I was there early. Easy was in the hospital the night before, but we didn't know that. But when I got to the studio, they was like, he was in the hospital. He's coming straight from the hospital to the studio. So he finally arrived probably about an hour or two later. And when he got there were other artists from Ruthless that end up popping up. Because, the studio that Easy them had in Torrance, it was kind of a hangout place for us too. It was a safe haven. So people used to just come on any given day. And when he got there, people wanted to talk to him naturally. People had their issues or whatever. So they had him in the hallway talking and talking. And I'm like, Eric, I've been up here, dude, for hours. We've been hearing this shit play over and over and over. I smoked all my weed. Like, you need to come and do this little 8 bars so we can go. And
Right.
and he was like, hold on, I'll be in there, you know what I mean? And I kind of gave him some time. And I went in there about 2 or 3 times. The last time I went in that hallway, he was sitting there alone, wheezing very hard.
Wow. Okay.
And I kind of like, I kind of sat next to him on the ground and was, asking him, is you okay, man? Like, what's going on? And he had, I guess on the way from the hospital, he stopped at the pharmacy and got these inhalers. Like, I've never
Okay.
seen inhalers this big. Like, they were like literally one of them had a butt on it, like it was huge. And he got
Mm-hmm.
the thing out, he pumped it, and it seemed to be working for a minute. And by that time, Donovan, the sound guy, Donovan, the dirt biker, who owned Audio Achievement Studios, he
Okay.
entered the hallway. He sat down next to us. Then we were talking for a minute and talking. And then when I seen his wheezing getting worse, I went and got his bodyguards and went to the hospital. And that's when everything spiraled out of control.
Man, so that was the last time that you really had a chance to see him and talk to him, because when
Yeah.
he got to the hospital, he was like in a coma.
Yeah, he was in it. Well, he wasn't in a coma initially, but after a while, they did put all, those tubes down his throat and his nose, and they had to use a machine to help him breathe. So he wasn't able to communicate words wise. He can only communicate by writing or gesturing to people and stuff like that. Yeah.